Hey, Daily Dosers, how's it going? My name is Travis. I'm one of the pastors here at North Coast Church, and I'm excited to just hang out with you today. You see, I still remember it was a little over a year ago, and my wife and I are just hanging out at home, and we get the dreaded call. You see, it's almost 9 o'clock. I have two teenage boys and a teenage girl, and I get the call that my son has been in a car accident. And of course, we're freaked out. He's talking about how the car is rolled over. We're like, what the heck? And I remember he's like, can you just come help me? I'm in the middle of this one road. And we jump in the car and we take off. And I remember as we're driving there, we are just praying. We're praying for safety. We're praying that the damage isn't crazy, just praying about everything. And I remember we get there, and my son, he's definitely freaked out. I mean, he's a teenager. He's freaked out, but he was okay. I mean, he was totally fine. There was no issues. I remember his car was like flipped over and we had to call a tow truck. And here's the crazy part is he ended up being fine. The tow truck comes, they flip the car back over. And actually, I jump in the car and I drive home in it. It was actually fine. And it was a little bit of damage. I think we had to go to the junkyard and get a new windshield and just a side mirror. But I remember as I was driving home, in that car, it's just me. And I just remember as I'm praying, I'm just thanking God. God, thanks that my son's okay. God, this is crazy, but this is even crazier that this car is fine. I'm actually driving it home. And about an hour or two ago, I was freaked out. Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, listen, I want to challenge you. Do you thank God a lot? Do you thank God a lot? In Philippians chapter 4, there's this verse that says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. It's Philippians 4:6. And I love it because it's saying, don't be anxious about everything. It's implying that we're going to be anxious. It's implying that we're going to have hard times. It's implying there's going to be times that you're going to freak out and rely on God, like my situation, like, God, please help us. Please help us. But I love how he says, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving. I want to remind you, are you thanking God? Because here's the thing. When I realized this, years ago, it changed my life when I just thank God more. Because here's what happens is, I don't know if you're like anything like me, but there's always crazy things that happen. It seems like it's daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, but there are stressful situations. There are God moments where I cry out to God, God, I need help. And sometimes it's simple things. And back in college, God, please help me to pass this test. I don't know, I'm crazy, but there's no way I'm going to do it. Hey, help me on stage when I preach to these students, Lord. I'm not prepared. Whatever it is, I'm crying out to God. And here's the crazy thing is, almost every time he comes through. I remember one time I got an A on that test. And for the first time, I was like, oh, wait a minute. God, I forgot to thank you. And I remember starting to realize, I don't think I thank God enough for things. And that's what changed my life is I started going back and thanking him for things. And this is why I say it changed my life, is I started realizing how many times God actually does answer my prayers. You see, I'd never known that before because I would say a prayer and then I'd go on my life and sometimes God would answer that prayer, sometimes he wouldn't, but I'd never thank him. And when I started thanking him more, I started realizing God answers a lot of prayers in my life. And it helped me realize my God is amazing. I want to encourage you. Are you thanking God? Because we need to thank him more and more and more. And what a great time during this season of thankfulness. Just want to challenge you on that and want to encourage you. God is good, but sometimes forget to say thank you. Thanks.